So the significance of Padmam in Devi's hand we saw in the last audio. This is a part 2 audio to that. That's why it's a continuation. So we saw in the last audio that Devi did puja to Shiva with lotus that she took from Manasarovar. Where did Manasarovar come in Kanchi Kshetram? Wherever Devi goes, Punyatirtham follows her. So Manasarovar is wherever Devi is there. So from that she takes lotus flowers and does her puja to Shiva, and she brought it along with her to Arunachala Kshetram. And let's try to understand the significant role of this lotus flower, and it has been mentioned in many granthas. We will see some of them. Firstly, we see many devatas asanam is Padmam, like Brahma, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Gayatri. And for Brahma, we see that the lotus is coming from the Nabhi Kamalam, right? Vishnu's Nabhi. It is from there that the stalk comes. And on the lotus, Brahma is seated. And because of this reason, we know we call Vishnu's another Nama is Padmanabha. And Brahma has the name Padmabhu. And for other devatas like Saraswati, Lakshmi, Gayatri and all, we hear Padmasana, right? It can also mean that yoga posture is doing the Padmasana posture, but it also means one who has Padmam as their asanam. And most importantly, we see namas like Charana Kamalam, Padambhoja. We associate or compare the Padam to a lotus. We also see the lotus being compared to the eyes of the devata, especially Vishnu. Kamalakannanne avarku per illaya Tamilla. We say Kamalalochana. And Lakshmi also, Padmanayana. Now, with respect to Lakshmi Devi, we see one of her avatars as Padmavati itself. That is, she emerged from Kamalam, lotus. She's also called Alamelu Manga in Tamil. அது ஆக்சுவலாக அது சொல்ல வேண்டியது அலர் மேல் மங்கை அப்படிங்கிறது தான் தமிழில் சொல்லணும். அலர்னா தாமரை, லோட்டஸ் இல்லையா, அது மேலே உட்காந்துருக்கா யார் அந்த மங்கை, உட்காந்துருக்கிற மங்கை அப்படின்னாக்கா பத்மாவதியை குறிக்கிறது. பத்மாவதி தேவி இஸ் கால்டு அலர் மேல் மங்கை இன் தமிழ். தட்ஸ் வாட் ஐ வாஸ் எக்ஸ்பிளைனிங். தட் மீன்ஸ் ஷீ இஸ் சிட்டிங் ஆன் த தாமரை, லோட்டஸ். நவ் வி saw that from the நாபி கமலம், அதுக்கு பேரே நாபி கமலம். Kamalam means தாமரை. அவரோட விஷ்ணுஸ் நாபி இஸ் இட் செல்ஃப் கால்டு தாமரை. ஏன்னா அதில் பிகாஸ் ஃப்ரம் தேர், ஜஸ்ட் நோ ஐ டோல்ட் ரைட், ஃப்ரம் தேர் த லோட்டஸ் ஸ்டாக் comes, and in that lotus flower Brahma is seated. And this is mentioned in Narayaniyam. Dashakam 7, the title is Brahmanaha Tapaha Vaikuntha Darshanam cha. Vishnu manifests himself as the Chaturdasha Loka, 14 worlds, and Brahma is the Hiranyagarbha, and he is appointed, Brahma is appointed to do the Srishti Karyam. Although he is appointed, Brahma is appointed to do the Srishti Karyam, Brahma is not aware of the procedure on how to proceed, how to do the Srishti Karyam. So Brahma is wondering when he hears an Akashavani. Akashavani means Ashariri Vak from the Akasha, telling him to do tapas. And so Brahma does tapas for Divyam Varsha Sahasram, it is mentioned. 1000 divine years he continues to perform the tapas. Then he has the darshanam. After that tapas period, he has the darshanam of Vaikuntham. Then when he sees Vishnu in the Vaikuntham, he starts to do stotram on Vishnu. When he completes his stotram, Vishnu, at the end of the Dashakam, you can see Dashakam 7, Vishnu will give anugraham to Brahma that he will guide him in the procedure and everything. So Vishnu himself enters Brahma. See, because Narayaniyam is a text that glorifies Vishnu, Vishnu is seen as the Karta. It is Vishnu's Shakti in Brahma that does the Srishti Karyam. It is Vishnu's Shakti that does the Sthiti Karyam. It is Vishnu's Shakti in Shiva that does the Samhara Karyam, Tirodhana Karyam, Anugraha Karyam. This is only we call as Panchakrityam. So when we take a text that glorifies Vishnu, Vishnu will be seen as everything. If we take a Shiva Stotram, Shiva will be seen as everything. Like that Devi Stotram. So here, coming back to the last shloka in Dashakam 7, Vishnu will enter Brahma and guide him to do the Srishti Karyam. In Dashakam 8, Naimittika Pralayaha Nabhikamalat Brahmanaha Avirbhavaha Cha. The title itself says Nabhikamalat Brahmanaha Avirbhavaha. So in the last shloka of Dashakam 7, he gets the anugraham from Vishnu we saw and how Srishti Karyam. The Dashakam 8 talks about Naimittika Pralaya, which means after the Srishti is done. It is like every day going to office for Brahma. What he will do is, today morning I wake up, I go to office, do Srishti Karyam. Night time, what? I have to come back and sleep. So that sleeping time is called Naimittika Pralaya. And we have to understand that this is in Divya Varsham. It is not our like day and night. Brahma's day and night is a kalpam. It is different. Now looking at the Pancha Krityam that we talked about, right? Srishti, Sthiti, Samhara, Tirodhana and Anugraham. We are a little bit aware of the first three Karyam in the Pancha Krityam. Srishti, Sthiti, Samhara. That is creation, sustenance, destruction, which is Pralayam. The next step after Pralayam is called Tirodhanam. Tirodhanam means it's like a screen. Everything is hidden or everything is withdrawn. All the Shaktis are withdrawn or they go back to where they came from. And the next step is Anugraham. See, in Tirodhanam we saw that everything becomes Layam into where they came from. Layam means becoming one. Where they emerged from, they merge back into it, we saw. Now Anugraham, the next step is, everything again starts from Srishti Sthiti. So the Anugraham is given because it's a Vishnu glorifying stotram. Vishnu will give Anugraham and all the Srishti Karyam again from the beginning. The cycle goes on. Now we know what this Pancha Krityam is. Now in Dashakam 8, Brahma comes back to Vishnu and says, I'll mention that shloka, Dinavasanetha Saroja Yonihi Sushupti Kamas Twai Sannililye Jaganti Cha Tvad Jataram Samiyuhu Tadedam Ekar Navamasa Vishwam. So Brahma is called Saroja Yonihi there. His Yoni is Saroja, Kamalam. And he has a wish to go to sleep. So together with all the Srishti, they become Layam, one with or merge into Vishnu's Jataram. And he goes into Yoga Nidra after giving instructions to Kala Shakti, time to wake him up when it is appropriate to start the cycle again. And Vishnu goes into Yoga Nidra with all the Srishti. Everybody has become Layam into him. Now, the next step we saw is Anugraham. In that Pancha Krityam, Srishti, Sthiti, Samhara, Tirodhana, everything has become Layam now into Vishnu. Next step is Anugraham. Now when time, because Vishnu gave instruction and went into Yoga Nidra, now time, Kala Shakti wakes up Vishnu, and when Vishnu wakes up, he sees everywhere it is Jalamayam. And now he sees inside himself, everything is concealed into him, right? We saw everything became Layam into Vishnu. Now he gives a Kataksham, his Anugraham. That Kataksham is the Anugraham. He gives that Anugraham on the Shakti that is dormant and concealed within himself. Once that Anugraham is given, the 10th shloka of Dashakam 8, Tatastwadiyad ainabhirandrat udanchitam kinchana divya padmam nilina nishesha padarthamala sankshepa rupam mukulaya manam. Here only we come to know that from the Nabhi Kamalam, Nabhi Randhrat means from that navel, from the Nabhi, Udanchitam Kinchana Divya Padmam, a divine Kamalam, lotus emerges, containing within itself all the Loka, everything, all the Srishti that was done, everything in its Sukshma Rupam became Layam into Vishnu. Now everything is emerging from there. And the 12th shloka says, Samphulla patre nitaram vichitre tasmin bhavadvirya dhrite saroje sa padma janma vidhiravirasit. Here only it says, from that kamalam that emerged from your Nabhirandram, Brahma emerged and he was given that name Padmaja because of that. He came with all the Vedas. And that is how Brahma got his name Padmaja, because Padma was his yoni. That means Brahma was born from the lotus. So he got the name Padmaja. And then Dashakam 9 continues to say how Brahma again, the Srishti Karyam has to Bhuvana Nirmitihi has to happen, right? So once he comes from that lotus, he's wondering where from, nothing else is there. Now only Srishti has to happen. Anugraham has been given. But he's wondering where, how am I sitting alone on this lotus? Where is this lotus adharam? Where is the adharam for this lotus? What is the base of this lotus? Where from has this lotus come? He is wondering. So he goes down the Nalarandhra, the stalk, the central stem. He starts to travel to find out where is the base of this Kamalam, Padmam. But he is not able to find out. So he returns to the top of the lotus and starts to do tapas with Ekagra Chittam. So he continued to do this tapas for 100 Divya Varsham. So everywhere I am saying Divya Varsham, so we understand that it is not 100 years like how for us here, it is different count there. So this is described in shloka number 5 of Dashakam 9. Shatena parivatsaraihi dridha samadhi bandholasat prabodha विशदीकृतः स खलु पद्मिनी संभवः अदृष्टचरमद्भुतं तव हि रूपमन्तर्दृशा व्यचष्ट परितुष्टधीः भुजग भोग भागाश्रयम्. So after that 100 Divya Varsham, Brahma has an internal Divya Darshanam of Vishnu sleeping on the Adishesha. So that is the base from where this Kamalam is coming, and that is where I am seated. He understands that and starts to do stotram on Vishnu, and Vishnu gives him the anugraham to start the Srishti Karyam again. So seated on the lotus, Brahma starts the Srishti Karyam and creates the Chaturdasha Lokaha. In the last shlokam of that Dashakam, 10th shloka, Dashaka number 9, it says that seated on the lotus, all the Srishti Karyam Bhuvanatrayim. 3 lokas means we have to understand inside the 3 lokas, 14 worlds are understood. So Brahma created all of this seated on that lotus, and the base of that lotus is Narayana. See, it looks like I have gone into Narayaniyam completely and I am teaching Narayaniyam. That is not the intention, but when we are giving some information, extra information, we have to give from what text we are understanding this, why this lotus, from how do we know that Brahma is seated on the lotus, where has it been mentioned like that? We just know through listening from everyone, but where has it actually been mentioned? We should know with some kind of authenticity from where it is. So it is important to mention these texts, name and where it is from, so that this kind of information will sit with us more firmly. சரி, இதில் வேர் ஹவ் ஐ மென்ஷன் அபவுட் த சிக்னிஃபிகன்ஸ், லோட்டஸ் சிக்னிஃபிகன்ஸ் பார்க்கறதுக்கு தானே இந்த ஆடியோவே அப்படின்னாக்கா, திஸ் இட் செல்ஃப் இஸ் வெரி சிக்னிஃபிகண்ட் இன்ஃபர்மேஷன், பட் தெர் இஸ் மோர் டு மென்ஷன் ஆல்சோ. ஸோ ஐ வில் மென்ஷன் எவ்ரி திங் அண்ட் இன் தி எண்ட் வில் கன்க்ளூட் வித் த சிக்னிஃபிகன்ஸ். ஐ ஹாவ் டு கட் த ஆடியோ and send us a part 3 audio because it is crossing 13 minutes and it's hard for even I won't listen if it is crossing 10 minutes. So thinking thus, I will cut and send as a part 3 audio. Ram Ram Ram.